The Ho Citadel. The citadel of the Ho dynasty, built by Ho Quý-ly in 1397, is also known by several other names, including Tây-Đô Citadel, literary Western capital city, An-Tôn Citadel, named after An-Tôn area where the citadel was built, Tây Giai Citadel, as it was located in Tây Giai hamlet, Thạch Thành, literary stone citadel, and inner wall, as opposed to the larger surrounding outer wall. The citadel is situated in what is now Vĩnh Long and Vĩnh Tiến communes, Vĩnh Lộc district, Thanh Hóa province, and bears an exceptional testimony to the history and development of Đại Việt during the late 14th and early 15th century. The property is situated about 150 kilometers to the south of Hanoi, 45 kilometers to the northwestern of Thanh Hóa city. Turning westwards as we go along National Highway 1 way, the site can be reached via Road 7 that passes through Kim Tân or Road 217 that passes through Hà Trung and Hà Linh communes. If we start from Thanh Hóa city instead, the citadel can be accessed via road number 45. And if we travel along the Ho Chi Minh Road, no matter northwards or southwards, the citadel can be reached via road 45 that passes through Cẩm Thủy district. By waterway, the site is accessible via the Lan and Ma rivers, either upstream from the Eastern Sea, also known as South China Sea, or downstream from Quan Hoa Ba Thước district. The 19th century renowned scholar Đặng Xuân Bang correctly noted that although Thanh Hóa is not comparable to Thăng Long in terms of metropolitan development, it is much more important from a defensive point of view. Hence, with the exception of Thăng Long, nowhere else is a better place than Thanh Hóa to build the capital city. For this reason, the land of An Tôn in Vĩnh Lộc district of Thanh Hóa was once chosen to position the capital city of Vietnam. In terms of topography, An Tôn Vĩnh Lộc is a transitional zone between the highland and the lowland, characterized by towering limestone mountain ranges densely located to the northwest and gradually sparse as the region extends southwards. The region is dotted with low hillocks and old plains that resulted from the alluvial buildup of the Bưởi and the Ma rivers. Amidst this diversified terrain emerges a vast plain which covers tens of thousands of hectares, flanked by two rivers and surrounded on all sides by mountain ranges. All of these features, added by breathtaking scenery, make the region an ideal place to build the capital city, according to ancient geomantic belief and traditions. Specifically, Mount Thổ Tượng, literally meaning Elephant Mountain, together with other seemingly endless northern ranges, was selected to be Hậu Trầm, the rear pillow supporting the back. Đôn Sơn Dan Mountain in the south placed as Tiên Ân, frontal table. Mount Hắc Huyền, literally Black Dog, in the east, and Mount Ngoạn Nghiêu, lying Buffalo, in the west, constitute a throne armrest position surrounded by the Bưởi and the Ma rivers, which converge in the south of Mount Đôn Sơn. Altogether, they form a Minh Thang, literally Palace of Light. Overall, the citadel of the Ho dynasty was built in an area of crouching dragon and calling snake, regarded as eternally stable for a capital. With those distinctive features, An Tôn Vĩnh Lộc was chosen in 1397 by Ho Quý-ly, founder of the Ho dynasty, to position the new capital city. By 1403, Thanh Hóa had already become Tam Phú Land, the adjacent zone of the capital city. To sum up, the citadel of the Ho dynasty boasts a long history of existence. From 1398 to 1407, it was the national capital city of Đại Việt under the Trần dynasty and then Đại Ngu under the Ho dynasty. From 1408 to 1593, it was an important political, economic, military and cultural hub of Đại Việt in the Central region. The tremendous historical and cultural value of the property was recognized, and it was designated by the government as a national-level historical site as early as the 20th of April, 1962. It is deemed one of the key heritage sites for long-term safeguarding in the overall system of Vietnam's cultural heritage. On the vast plain of Vĩnh Lộc, the whole citadel features 2 rounds of enclosed walls. That is a common feature of most Asian citadels, like in China, Japan and South Korea, which normally have 2 or 3 walls, one inside another. Of all the walls, the innermost one that provides protection for the king, royalty and court officials is the most important. It is often referred to as Imperial Citadel. In the case of the whole citadel, the Imperial Citadel is a quay-sized square stone wall that remains to date. The whole citadel has 4 gates, with the south gate being the main one. That is a shared feature of most Asian citadels, as it is a popular concept that the king, as the son of heaven, must turn to the south when he exerts his rule on the country, according to Jing Jing, the Books of Changes of China. The stone imperial citadel is surrounded by a system of moats and encircled further away by the outer wall, which is make of earth and covers an area as large as 5,480 hectares. Inside the imperial citadel, the whole dynasty constructed palaces, temples and altars. In the middle of the inner wall is the main palace where court meetings used to take place. Remaining evidence of this palace includes the Ningbo side, King's Foundation, and a pair of stone dragons that symbolize regal power. And several other edifices such as Eastern Ancestral Temple and Western Ancestral Temple, Nhân Thọ Palace, Hoàng Nguyên Palace and Eastern Palace, Satak Altar and Nam Zhao Altar. In the proximity of the 4 citadel gates, there were the roads and houses used by the city dwellers, as evidenced in such places named as Tây Nhai, Phượng Nhai, Hòa Nhai, Tu Nhai, Xuân Nhai, etc. The whole citadel features 2 rounds of walls, with the inner wall being the more remarkable. It was this wall that represents the talent and intellectual abilities of Vietnamese people during the late 14th century. Sustaining the critical test of time and social evolutions, the stone walls of the whole citadel bear an exceptional testimony to the outstanding talent of the Vietnamese people in the manufacture, construction and utilization of stones, especially in the technical conditions of Vietnam and other Southeast Asian countries during the late 14th century. The exact measurements of the imperial citadel walls are as follows. Southern wall, length 777.1 meters, current height over 5 meters. Northern wall, length 877 meters, current height over 6 meters. Eastern wall, length 879.3 meters, current height over 5 meters. Eastern wall, length 888 meters, current height over 5 meters. Various types of materials were employed in the construction of these walls, giving them a solid 3-layer structure. The outer layer is a facet of the citadel wall, which is subject to destruction from not only the invading armies, but also severe weather conditions. This layer displays the most spectacular beauty, construction technique, and firmness of the citadel. Therefore, it was meticulously calculated and made of the most durable materials, which are the huge rectangular stone blocks. Although there are variations in size, most of these stones measure 2.2 meter by 1.5 meter by 1.2 meter, weighing from 10 to 16 tons. Larger blocks may measure up to 4.2 meters by 1.7 meters by 1.5 meters and 5.1 meters by 1 meters by 1.2 meters, weighing as much as 26.7 tons. These stones had their outer surface chiseled and carved smooth and flat and assembled alternately following a running bond method or in the shape of Chinese character gong to provide horizontal and vertical solidity to the wall. The citadel walls narrowed down gently as it went up. Bigger stones were set at lower levels, while smaller ones were used for higher levels. Such a technique gives the wall trapezoidal shape and slanting outer faces. An estimated 25,000 cubic meters of stones were used in the construction of the citadel walls. The opposite sides of the stone blocks were fashioned and arranged in such a way that the tenons were fixed as deep as 4 meters towards the core of the walls. All the spaces between the stones were stuffed with a mixture of smashed stones and soil. The inner layer of the wall is an earthen rampart, where the soil was mixed with gravels and were well rammed. Between the two layers was a core made of natural stone blocks that were pressed against the outer layer. An estimated total 100,000 cubic meters of soil were used for the construction of the citadel. This prompted French archaeologist Louis Bazessier to make a witticism that the people of Annam are giant diggers of soil. However, the citadel wall was not made entirely of stones. The complete annals of Đại Việt recorded that in 1402, the whole court ordered its subjects to bake bricks to build the citadel. Vestiges of brick walls have been found in many places. These were sizable rectangular bricks measuring 47 to 49 centimeters by 24 to 25 centimeters by 6 centimeters and bearing Chinese inscriptions indicating the place of origin. These bricks were produced in different places, not only around the capital city, but also nationwide. The total length of the inner wall is 3,513.4 meters, and the total area is 769,086 square meters. Altogether, these materials make the wall as thick as 4 meters to 6 meters, while its foot, in some sections, can be as thick as 21.365 meters. In addition, the foundation of the citadel wall was made of gravels mixed with smashed stones and soil, and the huge stones placed at the foot of the wall, currently hidden under the topsoil. Altogether, they give the citadel a more imposing, steady, and majestic appearance. The imperial citadel features 4 gates opening to 4 main directions. What differentiates the whole citadel from its counterparts in the world is the small number of gates it has. That is a shared feature with Thăng Long citadel under the Lý and Trần dynasties, which also had only 4 main gates. Each of the east, north, and west gates has only 1 entrance, while the south gate, being the main one, features 3 entrances. South gate, 31.85 meters long, 15 meters thick, and 7.65 meters high. North gate, 21.342 meters long, 13.55 meters thick, and 7.65 meters high. East gate, 23.3 meters long, 13.4 meters thick, 6.8 meters high. West gate, 19.3 meters long, 13.4 meters thick, 6.116 meters high. All of the gates were built in vaulted shape with substantial rectangular stone blocks to form the body of the gate. The wedge-like stone, popularly called orange segment stone by the local people, were the key component, giving the gates an arched shape. Vestiges of threshold, door mortar, iron nails indicate that the gates have been closed by wooden doors. On top of the north gate and south gate, traces of column pits have been found, which suggest the presence of watch towers. A platform of 12.7 meters by 20 meters in dimension seemed to have been set on top of the northern gate. On this platform used to be a structure of 3 bays and 2 wings. Each beam of the middle bay was supported by only 2 pillars. Vestiges of balcony rails and gutters have also been found on this platform. The walls are surrounded by a moat system which constitutes an integral component of the inner wall. The remaining vestiges testify to the substantial nature of the moats. The eastern and western moats are some 100 meters to 200 meters from the foot of the wall, while the northern moat is about 70 meters from the foot of the corresponding wall. The moat measures from 10 meters to 20 meters in width, respectively, at its narrowest and largest sections. The southeastern corner of the citadel has water canals that connect the moats with Luang River. As such, the moat system was not only a defensive component, but also served as a water